We're live.
Ah!
Hi. Welcome. It's Monday. Today is September the 8th, and it's the 8th of September, and this is the September 8th edition of Ouya Dev Support Office Hours. My name is Bob. Alex is not here today, and Matt's over here, working diligently, joining us live via satellite, as always, from a bunker somewhere in the Culver City area, Mr. Jared Yeager.
Good morning, Ouya Nation.
Somewhere in the nearby Los Angeles region is Miss Kellee Santiago. And this guy, the illustrious Mr. Tim Graupmann.
That's me.
That's that guy. So typically we would start off this
I actually
program.
do feel my audioscape is akin to the nether region in the last chapter of Kentucky Route Zero.
Man, I need to get back in that game.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, everyone does.
Yeah. What chapter is it on now? Is it done?
No, there's 5 acts, and I think they've released 3 acts.
I just finished It's Guts, everybody. Oh, what? Did you say what I think I heard you say?
Thanks.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm totally thrown off.
Never good to hear yikes from Guts.
Oh,
No, yikes.
Yeah.
There's a
Lunchtime.
Ike's, the sandwich place here. Do you guys have Ike's in Southern California?
No.
No, they keep threatening to come down here, and we're dying for it. Ike's is the best.
Yeah.
Well, there's Mike and Ike's. Those are pretty good.
Are you guys going right now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Can I put in a Jim Rohn?
If you go right now, you automatically win the contest.
Pretty much.
Oh, man. I've been eating some crazy stuff. Oh, and then I was going to say, speaking of episodic content, I finished The Walking Dead Season 2. That was interesting. I don't know if you guys have played that.
She's in
What?
the
Oh,
TV series or the game?
the TV series? I
Wait,
don't know. The game. So I don't have any Ouya relevant derp with Doherty's without Doherty to give from the Ouya submission front lines. Can you guys think of any QA submission related things?
I will derp for Doherty today.
Okay.
We've had some devs that have been reaching out to do sales with us, and happy to go over this again. For us to do the promoted sales, where we do the dog ear tag on the side that says 50% or whatever amount you want to have off, you need to have a promoted product in place for your entitlements. And entitlement purchases are full unlocks for your games. It's what allows to have the buy button appear on the game details page. So you need to turn that entitlement to promoted product. It takes about 5 minutes. You do it on the dev portal. You don't have to do any code work whatsoever. And so once you've got that in place, you'll have your buy button there on the game details page. That does not remove your free demo. It's just another way for someone to actually purchase your game without having to jump in there if they want to grab it really quick while it's on sale without having to go in there and find where you unlock the rest of the game. So it's very handy to do, so I've been getting a lot of follow-ups for that. Also, people have been asking how to get the dev their developer pages put in. So again, you can go onto our documentation and see how that's done. And what's great about setting up your developer page is it allows you to also link to the other games you have on the storefront. So if you have 5 other games that are on Ouya, it's great to have that developer page. You can read up about you as a studio and then check out all the different games, especially if they like something that you've got in place. And we have a lot of devs with multiple games on the platform, so highly recommend doing that.
So if I wanted to take a peek behind the Ouya curtain, and I know this is risky business, so if someone fills out a form and they want to do a sale, do we get like an alert? How's that work, Jared? Do they have to then follow up and email us?
Well, here's what you'd like to do. So, I mean, you could discount your game at any point if you wanted to. You can definitely run a sale manually without contacting us. I mean, if you've got an entitlement purchase, you can lower it at any time and shout from the Twitter rooftops if you want to do that. But the only thing with that is if you want to actually have our special special banner on and give us the heads up so we can actually feature you, it's best to email me at jared@ouya.tv, and we can set that up and slot you in for feature placement on the home screen for when that actually goes in place. And then we can actually set the time limits for you. So if you want to launch a sale on Tuesday at 9 a.m. and have it run through Monday or go for 2 weeks or just 24 hours, we can set that parameters for you. All we need you to do is have your promoted product in place for your entitlement, and we take care of the graphical banner and all that stuff. We can add the text for you in your game details page for what percentage off you want it to be. If you want to do it manually, you can submit an update and add any banner you want, honestly, and change your text, and then do another update when you want it to end. But again, you have to take into consideration when QA is going to jump in and do that. So it's always best to work with us because then we also know it's coming and we can try to set you up for some nice feature placement.
Awesome. So since Jared filled in for Alex's Dirt with Doherty, I would normally shift from Alex to Jared for just the facts with Jared. But I can go first to intersperse FaceTime and just give a recap of PAX. So yeah, I was there. Alex was there. Cool mug, Jared.
Walking Dead.
Tim Graupmann was there. Mr. Matt Bishop was there, but he's not here. And we had a ton of devs. So a few weeks prior, we put out just an open call. Developers wanted to show off their games or have their games shown off. They could submit. We got 100 submissions, over 100 submissions, really quickly. And then we had to pick a few that showed well. So we picked some. You can look at it on the blog at ouya.tv/blog. But I mean, so a ton of devs showed up, like Nick Beyond.
And you did a Ouya Presents video, right?
Yeah, there's a new Ouya Presents you can check out. So you can see all the developers that are there. We should link that in the show notes, probably.
That was an amazing video, by the way. Well done.
Thanks. So I shot a lot of that footage, and so did Matt. And Matt was like, "Oh, I suck at video footage." I was like, "No, man, you got to believe in yourself." And there's some great shots from Matt in there.
I don't think we got footage of you dancing on the chair. You had like a little jam box on your head or something?
Yeah. I don't know what happened there. Well, I mean, So towards the end of the show, I started getting PAX pox, and then I had to take cold medicine, and that stuff makes you a little loopy.
And dance on chairs.
Yeah, it makes you dance.
Want to dance.
And then you're exhausted afterwards. So there's actually a picture Alex took of me asleep, sitting, which I've never done before in my life. But I was that exhausted. It was an epic event. Tons of devs showed off their stuff. We were constantly barraged with people playing games. Overly positive response, I would say. So it was cool to be at PAX with everybody.
Yeah, and you got free stuff. There's stuff all around, like swags, posters for games, all kinds of things, T-shirts.
Yeah. What, Jared?
No, I was gonna say you had some really cool updates for games that haven't come out yet, or updates for games that we actually have. I think you had Amazing Frog 2.0 there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the new version of Dub Wars might have been there. That's coming soon. And then you had some upcoming games like Jones Sword. Inner World looks really sweet.
Yeah.
And then actually on the video front, if anyone wants to see a fun exclusive video that we've posted, I don't know if anyone knows, but we have an Instagram account as well. And there's an amazing video of Matt Kahn from Midboss of GX3 and Read Only Memories playing Shuttle Rush and bouncing up and down like a child. It is amazing. So definitely go check that out and follow us on Instagram for stuff that we don't necessarily post on our other channels.
Yeah, good call.
Hey, Bob, do you have your Glom Tom pillow?
I don't. It's in the other room.
I got one too.
Yeah, rock your Glom.
Check it out.
Yeah,
it makes playing games better. You just kind of wear your pillow, and it's for your controller to sit on top. It's like without it, it's not as cool. So you gotta get one of these Glom Tom pillows.
Yeah, don't hold up your own arms anymore. You thought you had to do that. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we met the Glom Tom guy, and he does a lot of shows. So he was actually demoing on an Ouya at his booth. So that was cool. And then, really quickly, so Hardlander was a sneak attack hit. I don't think we had ever played 4-player Hardlander, but if you guys have 4 controllers, if anyone has 4 controllers, you should hook up Hardlander, get 4 people on that, because it fast becomes really fun. Also, I learned at PAX that there was like a pseudo shadow update to Amazing Frog, and there's a UFO version right now. So if you go to the moon, you can jump up like a column of asteroids and get to a UFO, but it's really difficult to do. And then, yeah, then there's also 2.0 to look forward to.
And you can drive a moonlander.
That's true. That's true.
Or a rover, whatever it is.
Oh, man.
Speak of the devil.
Hello.
We were just talking about you and your amazing run in Shuttle Rush.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
thought we were being joined by a rabid dog, but I'm so glad it was actually not gone.
I was so excited for that game. It was just really made my PAX experience go to 10.
Nice. Well, then here's a treat for you. An exclusive update. Shuttle Rush starting tomorrow is going to be 50% off.
What?
All week. I know, crazy. Bam.
Hide
Just
your
for you.
wallets. The Ouya sale is rolling through town.
That's Matt Kahn, everybody.
Oh well.
Behind him is JJ Signal. There he is.
Hey JJ.
Hello.
Developers of Read Only Memories.
We're currently
Now
working-
available as a beta on Ouya.
Yeah. And we've made so many great improvements since that beta came out. I'm excited for our next build because people are going to be able to see an inventory system in action, and ambient noises, and more story, and it's going to be good times.
What?
How about,
Hi.
we did not come out to Hood Slam on Friday, by the way.
To what?
Missed Hood Slam.
I missed Hood Slam. What's Hood Slam?
You know what Hood Slam is.
I know, but for those not in the know.
Oh, okay. Hood Slam is like this in Oakland where like video game characters fight one another, basically.
Jared, you're gonna love this.
So like they
This
have
sounds
like
amazing already.
they have like Ryu and Cammy and Ken and Link, and they have like weird other things like Serial Man. And stuff.
Is that like LARPing? So you do it like you wear the costume and then you fight?
Well, I mean it's pro wrestling, so I mean pro wrestling's sort of like LARPing, I guess. They also had the Brian Kendrick.
Who's that?
If you don't know who that is, I mean, just some wrestler.
So yeah,
We are doing this the next time I come up.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and like the guy who's like the ring announcer goes around and like pours whiskey in people's mouths and stuff, and like they like hand out like I mean I probably shouldn't say that. They do a lot of things involving drugs on stage too.
Oh no.
Do the announcers try to imitate the Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat announcers before each round? It's like
Sorta,
a little,
yeah.
Like 16-bit voice.
I don't know about 16-bit, but
32.
32-bit.
You can do that with an FX rack.
32X.
So you're just in time, Matt Kahn, for just the facts. I don't know if we covered all the facts. Did we
Well,
cover
it's actually be good to give an update. How's GX3 stuff going?
Well, GX3 is going swimmingly. If you went to GX2, you'll have seen a beautiful Ouya room filled with all of the best games that Ouya has to offer. I still have people coming up to me saying, like, I got to get an Ouya because of that room.
that was cool.
It was fun. GX3 is going really well. We just passed 69,000. And we have 10 days left to hit $10,000 more, and GX3 is going to happen.
Wait, what are you talking about?
We have our Kickstarter up.
You have a Kickstarter up?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's for GX3.
Is there like a URL that's easy to say out loud?
Go to Kickstarter and search GX3.
That's good. Cool.
And it's going to be a con, and it's going to be even better than ever. And we have sponsors.
We're gonna do a game jam there,
Yeah, we're gonna do a game jam
hopefully.
before GX3. And then we're going to be like, hey, you guys should get your games on the Ouya and get your games out to the world. And if people make good games at GXDev, then we'll give them free space at GX3 to show off their games. That'll be fun.
Sweet.
And we probably will be holding it either at GitHub or Unity headquarters downtown. So either way, you'll be inundated with tech knowledge while there. And you get smarter just by sitting there. Even if you don't know anything, you just like sit there.
Osmosis.
Osmosis, exactly. You know what's going on.
Yep.
No grokking with that grout.
Mr. Jared Yeager, is that all the facts today?
With facts. Well, I can say that tomorrow, devs and gamers, be ready. We're going to be doing a special back-to-school sale. Lots of games on sale, some that have never been on sale before, so get ready to check the Ouya storefronts starting tomorrow morning, because we're going to have a nice rollout of a wide variety of games and devs with some awesome treats on sale. So that's going to be pretty sweet. For this week, as far as some other major updates, there's a couple of really sweet games that are going to come out this week, but I cannot reveal them yet. So stay on the lookout for that. Although we're really happy that Audismog's Adventure, they wanted to come to Ouya and get a lot of more exposure and kind of treat the Ouya fans for free. So they've released that game 100% free on Ouya. Normally, I think it's like $1.99 or a few extra dollars everywhere else. So definitely check that out. It's 100% free to play from the great devs at Play Medusa. Also, for Free the Games, I'd like to congratulate The Sun Also Rises from Horse Volume. They hit their goal. So really excited to see that coming to Ouya and PC, Mac, and Linux. That's going to be an amazing experience. I believe that's going to come out in 2015. Also, Right from the Stars hit their goal, so they are the 22nd Free the Games fun game that's been funded so far. As far as a few others that are getting closer to their goal in the next few days, Super World Carts.
Super World Carts!
Yeah, by One-Legged Seagull. That's getting pretty close. I think they've got 3 days left and 3,000 to go. They've got great cameo.
You gotta back that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You've got cameos from Read Only Memories with Turing in his cart. I love his little horn beep whenever he's passing people by.
You got Duck Game Duck.
Yep, you got Duck and Get Duck. You've got the Totos from Toto Temple and a Toto Temple Arena level in there. You've got a Fist of Awesome level in there with Timber. You've got Lobo Destroyo. You've got the Miis from So Many Me. I posted them all on Facebook.
Whispering Willows.
Yeah, Whispering Willows. Yeah, Eliana with her ghost form above her card as well. I'm
Cannonball Guy.
Yeah, that's right. Cannonball Guy's in there now.
Bawb's going to be in it soon as a playable character.
Quite possible. You have an Ouya robot that looks like Robbie the Robot, so that's in there too.
You mean Robbie the Robot, that piggy bank robot?
Well, it looks a bit like the Nest robot, but they created a kart racer that's built out of an Ouya. So like it's an Ouya with like a robot head on top, and so you can actually play as an Ouya with a cart. I know I'm forgetting some other indie games from the list. I'd have to load up the Facebook page. But go to the Kickstarter page. It's the featured game on the Free the Games website. Definitely check that out. A couple others that are moving closer to their goal. Duke Grabowski is in great shape. A really cool pirate adventure game. Some ex-LucasArts people involved with that one. Captain Bra 2, currently still featured. They do have a ways to go, but they've been picking up steam. They're close to 60% funded with a few days left to go. But they've raised over like $40K so far. But yeah, we have about at least 12 projects left, I believe, and they are all racing to their finish lines. Another featured game on Kickstarter. Staff pick is the Kulina Spirit of Cooking. That is getting pretty close to their goal with several days left. Let me just check. So there's a couple more. I apologize. I've had trouble loading up the page right now with all the shenanigans going on here. Stash. No Loot Left Behind. 4 days left to go. 80% funded. Tetropolis still looks super cool. Although they're 14% funded, but it is a really cool mashup of Tetris, Metroid, Major Drip, where you play as a runny nose, literally a nose that's running across across the screen with your legs are your giant nose hairs, and you start off the game being blown off the face that you're attached to, and you go on a platforming adventure. They are 32% funded. Enchanted Kingdom 31 days ago. Rose, which is the full version of the Rose demo that's on Ouya right now. They're at 33% funded. Kevin vs. the Monkeys, Bubble Struggle, Royal Heroes, Astro Style. Yeah, I think that's actually makes up the rest of what's available left to fund. So check them out. There's some great games there. They all have really good dev stories behind them. So you can go to freethegamesfund.com to check them all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, I think our dev newsletter, Bob, covered pretty much all the other facts. You can submit to IGF right now. Yeah, I think that's the main stuff. Unless there's anything else you want to cover from the dev newsletter that you sent out recently.
Oh, that's a good point. I should check that. And if you don't get the dev newsletter, it might be because you're not Ouya dev yet. And, you know, it's unfortunate, Jared and everybody, because it's so difficult to become an Ouya dev. The price is so high. Am I right, you guys? Is that right? No, it's not right. It's totally, completely free and easy to do. So you go to devs.ouya.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I was messing with you. So you go to devs.ouya.tv, actually.
This guy's a joker.
You can just sign up. And
You don't even have to pay for internet. You can go to your public library.
Yep, and we've got
there.
tons of documentation. We've got tons of information. And it's pretty much everything you need to get started. Okay, so I'm looking at this. The only thing that I can... Oh, well, I mean, there's cool Xiaomi news. So for devs not following the Xiaomi stuff, we recently announced a strategic partnership with Xiaomi. And they are, you know, one of the biggest hardware companies in Asia. And we are working to get Ouya developers' games onto Asia TVs and set-top boxes. So it's huge for developers, and we'll have more information on that in the future.
I'm excited because I think that a lot of people in China want to play interesting stories about gay robots or something.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, only if it is an adventure game, though.
And they're learning about stuff in the San Francisco area.
Can you imagine you know how many lines of text there is in our game? It's be so expensive to localize this game.
It's not too bad. It generally costs about 18 cents a word to localize to a specific language. So.
That's gonna be like $100,000.
How many words do you have? Do you have a total count?
Volunteers are great in the indie space. You know, you may have players already that will do it for you.
Yeah, there's actually, I've known some devs that have worked with language students at local universities that love to kind of do that as like side projects, or they've been able to kind of work that into their curriculum and things like that. So it'd be a potentially one avenue that you could go through.
How do you think the Chinese would feel about queer cyberpunk adventures?
Stoked.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little way to find out.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's break new ground, just like
you'll be the first
now with this new partnership.
Yeah. Nice.
Way to do the upsell.
Yeah, and a callback in one.
Yeah.
Boom. And now, rocking with Grout.
I was going to say, we were talking about the dev portal, and we're talking about documentation, and we're talking about engine support, and there's a bunch of questions coming in. So after we answer those questions, we should probably pass the ball.
Or we can save the questions to the end, maybe. I'll just do my thing.
Call, man. Okay, well then.
Then we'll never get to the questions. That's the subtext.
My evil plan.
These are some pretty good questions.
Yeah, they're really quick, Tim. I bet you could knock them out. So let's start with the first question we got from Johnny Deutsch. And he says, in the dev portal, are unique downloads version independent, or are new version downloads counted again? That might not be a Graupmann question.
Yeah, if Matt was still here, we could ask him.
Yeah, where is Matt?
He works on the analytics.
That is such a good question. We should save this for when Matt comes back, Johnny Deutsch. So, version independent. Do you know what he means by version independent?
I think your games have a version on it when you publish it, so you can have like, you want to know like total downloads for all the different versions, and then for specific like your version E that you just published or something.
If I updated, can you separate those?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the big question is like how many people have my game, and then how many of them have like the latest build versus have older builds.
Got it. Okay, well, he went to go get Ike's, so maybe he'll be back in time to heroically answer that question. And then later on, Samuel came in. Any word on Ouya 2? And if so, what hardware specs would you have? Bird, Sam, stay tuned.
Well, it says what specs would you like to see in it?
What would the devs like to see?
Yeah, so you, Matt, or any other devs listening now.
I would like to see the best video card with the fastest processor, all for the cheapest price.
That's a good answer. Okay. And then finally, Josh Lindsay. I would like to see take a 402. Oh, he's talking about what you're talking about. We'll be able to put much more graphics in it. Yeah. So that seems to be the consensus, T4 and beyond. And then a key factor is what Mr. Matt Kahn touched on, which is getting it at a price where gamers, consumers, and the like would want to get it. So those are things to consider. But we're developer people. We talk about developer things, and one developer person that we hold near and dear to our hearts is the illustrious Mr. Tim Graupmann in a weekly segment where he shares an introductory or intermediate bit of cool tool usage in a segment that we like to call Graup.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I recently got a Kickstarter thing in the mail. It's called the Embrace Plus, and so they've successfully got kickstarted back when Ouya launched, like July of 2013. And I just got it in the mail. It's kind of like, let's see, if I can make it work. There we go. It's got like a force feedback thing in it, and you can set the different colors. And so potentially I could hook this up to an Ouya game where, like if you take damage or whatever, I can set the color and have it vibrate and that kind of thing. So excited about that. For my segment, though, I was going to talk about ProBuilder, which is one of those tools that doesn't require programming, and you can basically model and create levels right in Unity without. You can do level design right in Unity without coding. So I'll show you some stuff I made. Basically, I made a room that you can walk into, and there we go. Okay, so this is ProBuilder. It's regularly $95, and you can make levels in it. So it's got, you can start with a basic shape, and it's got tools to extrude edges, and you can add geometry right inside of Unity. Like a lot of times you'll have to open Blender and do your modeling in Blender and import that, but with this tool you can model right inside Unity. And so I made a little example of a character, and when the character goes inside of a room, the roof disappears, and when it goes back out, it comes back. And I made this room in ProBuilder. Okay, so to do this, I reused a couple weeks back, we were talking about Playmaker, and so I used the Playmaker system to detect when a character enters a room with a trigger, and then that trigger will toggle the ProBuilder ceiling, and it toggles its visibility. And I'll show you how I made this room. So in ProBuilder, there's a tools panel that comes up somewhere. Let's see.
Looks like you're building an isometric.
Yeah, so you can switch between perspective and isometric in the scene view. And that's just part of the Unity editor. Okay. I don't know why, but I think normally this thing tools appears, and then that's how I get this ProBuilder thing on the side. And I started out with clicking this Shapes button, and then you can pick with from a list of things that you start with. So I just start with a cube, and then I centered it, and then I go and build a cube. And before I do that, let me just start with a new scene. Okay, and then I built a cube right inside Unity, but it's got this thing where you can go into geometry mode, and I can click on the faces, and then with these buttons here, I can click on, there's a button that does an extrude right here, or I can hit Control E on the keyboard, and I can extrude edges, and Control E, extrude edges, and it works with all the existing tools. So your existing rotation transform tools will move it around, or you can scale it.
Whoa!
And then you can extrude some more, move it around, and you can build out your level and your scene with this awesome tool.
So you're making the ventilation through which John McClane crawls.
That's right. So it's got a bunch of stuff built in, like I can just marquee faces or vertices, and I can move individual vertices. I guess I can click on them too.
What makes an air vent like that? That's too complex.
Well, if an explosion happened in it or something, and then it would cause it to. I've seen some videos of and how stuff works. If like they get metal really hot, they blow air into it, and then it makes it like do a round shape. So if you had an explosion in the air vent, it would twist it all around. And yeah, so I'm doing this right inside Unity. You can build out a level.
Joshua was asking if you can use it for procedural generation.
Well, I think this is more edit time. If you want to do procedural stuff, you would probably write a script to interact with mesh vertices. But I don't know, maybe they have an API. If you want to build your own like UI panel for it or something. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to make your own levels and build your things. Be really easy to make like a marble style game where you have to move your marble across the top of one of these.
Looks like it'd be good for like setting up a corridor shooter, would it?
Yeah. Anything you can think of.
What about a guy who you have to get to your bowl of cereal really fast?
Yes.
Right.
Bob, this is why you're an asset to the game dev community. Because
Thank you.
Use violence as a way to advance your storylines.
No. Cereal.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Would you have a serial killer in your serial game?
Yeah, I need to get to the cereal before. Yeah. It's like, man, that's deep.
So, yeah, the first thing I did is, okay, so I used this shape box, and it's like, okay, start with a plane. And that's my ground floor. And then I used the shape selector, and it's like, oh, you need a door? I made a door. And there's a door. And then I just placed that door. Okay, W. So it has these things on the top for like interacting with items itself, interacting with geometry, or changing textures. And I can just place the door where I want it. And then I went back to, okay, so I need a cube for the walls. Built one of those. I just moved it to an edge.
Man, I just want to watch you make a sweet Die Hard game the rest of the day.
Remember Die Hard Trilogy?
Yes, I do. There was actually a pretty sweet one on Nintendo way back in the day where I think there was literally just 13 enemies and you had to take the elevator up and down between floors. I think Angry Video Game Nerd covered it at one point, but It was almost kind of like ahead of its time.
As the diehard video game enthusiast that I am, I agree with Jared. That game, you are correct. There's a very limited amount of enemies in that NES game. You can only go between 5 floors and the basement. But Die Hard Arcade is truly the best of the 3.
I remember that one. I was at my local arcade right next to the Cinnabon. That was a perfect summer.
That game was the ultimate game.
No one's arguing.
Although you couldn't play Samuel L. Jackson, I think might have been the only drawback.
You can in Die Hard Trilogy.
That's right.
Not Die Hard Arcade. Die Hard Arcade is you play as John McClane and John McClane number 2.
That's right. He got cloned.
Mirror match.
Josh is asking for you to expand more upon your vertices stuff for the procedural thing. I think he's working on a procedural project.
Okay. All right. So for any geometry in the scene, regardless of this tool or not, to view it, it normally has a mesh render and a mesh filter on it somewhere. So mesh render, mesh collider for running into it. Anyways, it's going to have a mesh filter which references the mesh, and the mesh has scriptable things on it like UVs, normals, and vertices, and faces, and triangles, and all that. And basically, your procedural stuff would manipulate the faces and vertices on the mesh object to create more geometry procedurally. So the procedural thing would come down to your logic. There's existing plugins in the asset store that are procedural, like the Houdini engine. That's definitely a procedural engine. So if we look for the Houdini...
Score, Josh. Hit the hook up here. You're grokking with Graupmann.
Okay, so Houdini file importer, let's see, it's probably by... There's one called the Houdini engine. I saw it at Unite, which probably could be a plugin if you have Houdini itself. But basically, they had a video demo going where they quickly make a racetrack scene, and it's all procedural, and it looks like something in the Midwest, and it was super easy to put together, and it looks real nice because it's procedural, so you get a lot of variability in how it looks. Oh.
Says
could be
email Tim, Josh, but so one more thing. He wants to know specifically about procedure building. Maybe you should email him. I already did the vertices thing. I do it on a plane to generate the height. I wanted to know how to make a procedure building.
A building procedural. Well, I'd use like a state machine or something where...
That's what I was going to say.
You build it on top of a bunch of different rules, like a roof goes on top of a wall, and a wall goes next to a door, and then you build these rule sets, and then you hit an auto button, and it generates like a city right from that. They do have something called City Engine, which is specifically targeted to making buildings like that. Let's see, I'll do a search. Hopefully nothing offensive comes out, but City Engine. Yeah, so it makes urban cities procedurally, and they all look like super realistic, good enough for like Google Maps or whatever, or the Apple Maps, where you can make buildings and it looks all realistic. And I think it can even take like GPS data and auto-generate cities for you. And it makes realistic content.
That's awesome. That's my favorite type of content.
They have a free trial?
Yeah.
Awesome. Johnny Deutsch following up on his question about unique version downloads and installs. If in case Matt doesn't make it back, can I write him or anybody else? And you know what? You can, Johnny. We're all pretty relatively accessible, and we all just go by first name at ouya.tv. So Matt would be Matt at ouya.tv. And feel free to CC any of us if you'd like. Otherwise, you can just ask Matt that. Boom. Did you finish grokking, Graupmann?
Yeah, that was kind of it.
Cool.
So with this example, I've made an example room, and basically I made this shape here. Let's see. So the other view.
Rocking with Graup.
Okay, so if we go back to the top down, and yeah, so that's how I made this room using the ProBuilder tools to make a room with a door on it.
Yes.
And then I created this
oh man, that smells amazing.
trigger area. Here we go. So I set up a trigger so when your character enters the green area, that toggles the mesh render on the ceiling. So my ceiling, there we go. So if I go outside, there's the ceiling, and basically the script will toggle the mesh render visibility so that when it goes in, it's automatically toggling that. And if I click on trigger area, I added a playmaker state machine to it, and that looks like this. So basically, state where it's waiting for you to enter the trigger area, and when you do, it finishes, and it toggles visibility, which goes into this next state. So, okay, so you enter the area, it finishes, then it goes for the wait for exit, which when it's in this state, the ceiling is not visible, and then when you leave on, so if the ceiling is, the player hits that trigger on trigger exit, that goes to this other state, visibility comes back on, and so when you exit the room, the ceiling reappears. And that's my awesome state machine for toggling the ceilings on rooms. I did make a custom action called trigger state, where I took the existing trigger event and I just have it finish the event when the trigger event happens. And one other thing that came up is when I imported Playmaker and ProBuilder 2 into the same project, it had one class called About that collided, so I just commented it out in the Playmaker code, and then everything worked fine. And I emailed the devs, so that'll be fixed in the next version probably. So
Awesome.
you don't have to deal with it. So pretty easy stuff, and you can make levels without coding.
You're the man, Tim.
That's the goal.
Matt just got back, and Matt, Johnny Deutsch was asking a question about metrics, and is there a way to tell if to differentiate like an update download statistics versus just like
Yeah, we do have some of that information on the back end, but it isn't filtering its way to the developer metrics yet. So we can add that as a feature request on there. That's a good call.
Okay.
The information is known, but not to developers yet.
Just a issue of time and all of that. He's back in it. He's a consummate professional. So that answers that. Josh is diving deeper. Josh, I would advise that you email Mr. Tim Graupmann, since we're coming close to being out of time. And if we come up with some gems from that conversation, maybe we can revisit next week. I think that's cool. Is that cool, Tim? Cool. I'm getting a thumbs up from Tim. So, yeah, Cohen Hacking joined us. How's it going, Cohen?
Hey, it's great.
Cool. Cohen has a Kickstarter going for Shadowlight right now as well.
Boom.
Yeah. So it's
if you want to see the expansion, you got to back that thing. Go out and back Shadowlight.
So it's not going very well, but my goal is 2,000 euros, not dollars, but it will be magically converted when you bag it into euros. And You're offline.
That's the power of magic.
Wait, sorry, I had some lag.
Yeah, so your project has like, what, 4 different expansions to the existing Shadowlight game? New content? Everyone wants to see that. Back it, man.
Yeah, there's like 4 different worlds that I wanted to make to get like 6 worlds. And there's also a bonus world, which I just invented, Rose Garden. And there's the Wii U goal. But that's just to add Wii U support.
Cool. Any cool games people played within the last week?
I did. I played that Audie Smog's Misadventure. It's awesome. I got up to like 600 feet. Quite impressed with myself.
I saw your video on your YouTube channel, Tim.
Yeah. That's how I have proof that I got that far. So.
Yeah, they're good dev. They're going to keep bringing games to Ouya as well. They want to kind of get feedback on ouyaforum.com and just make it free for everyone and keep bringing more stuff over. So great team over at Play Medusa.
Oh, awesome.
I'm just so excited to go into China with y'all.
Yeah.
And everybody who's a Ouya dev can now go to China as well, thanks to the brilliant partnerships and business development on the side of the Ouya team. Thanks, Ouya.
We need a more star traveling past you when you say that.
Okay, well, we have a couple minutes left. So, rapid fire food game. Are you playing this week, Matt?
Nah.
Matt?
Nah, I just said no.
Oh, okay. Matt had an Ike sandwich.
No, I haven't even had it yet.
I had an Ike sandwich. So that goes to Tim Graupmann.
All right. I probably wouldn't mention the Reuben sandwich I got at Unite or the awesome poutine that we got at that place we went. Probably the best thing I had the last week was I went to 7-Eleven and they have hot dogs there and I put sauce and the cheese sauce and I didn't die.
Especially since that's not actually cheese.
Oh, I don't know what it was. Great.
Yellow sauce.
I had some yellow and some brown on my hot dog. It was great.
Can you beat yellow and brown on a hot dog?
Who are you asking?
Macon.
Would I eat yellow and brown on a hot dog?
Can you beat yellow and brown on a hot dog?
Can I beat that? Yes. I went out for a lovely little lunch at a little hamburger bistro in Silicon Valley, and they came out and they delivered things and sweet potato fries with a banana chocolate milkshake and a southwestern style chicken burger. It was really a delightful, beautiful meal. It was too bad that my company really stopped me from enjoying my food. But it was a beautiful food service.
Okay, that sounds relatively good. Kellee Santiago.
Bloomin' onion from Outback. Boom.
A solid solution.
Whoa, Kelly, you got the bloomin' onion again.
And she dropped the mic.
You didn't tell me? Oh.
She bloomin' onion and then just walked out.
My heart is hurting, but not as much as yours after having the bloomin' onion.
It was a bloomin' onion week.
I would agree. Awesome.
Jared Yeager.
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of, I didn't even know they had them here, but there's this great French bistro in Culver City called Meat in Paris, and I've gone there for their like endless mussels and stuff that they usually have like in a lobster bisque sauce, but now they have a lobster frittata, and they serve it with big chunks of lobster meat, and they pour a little bit of lobster bisque sauce on it, and that was incredible. And then topped it off with some homemade pecan pie that my uncle made and brought over to the house. That was pretty mouth orgasmic.
You had me at pecan pie.
Winning again. Cohen, can you beat Jared?
Wow.
So I had French fries with something Dutch. I could send you a picture or something, but I don't know how to explain it.
Can you send the picture and tag @PlayOuya so we can get a look at it?
We will favorite.
That's okay.
Awesome. Okay, well then Jared gets the win.
Yay!
It's been a while. Jared won. Second place I'm giving to Matt, and third place to Kelly for the blooming onion. It's nice. Solid victory row.
Dun, dun, dun,
I
dun.
do have some very quick, important food news, and that's that Olive Garden is now launching a program where you can give them $100. You can get unlimited pasta for 7 weeks.
What?
It's like an all-access pass.
Yeah, it's like a fast pass to Olive Garden.
Ouya starts something, then everyone just copies.
Yeah, once again. Okay, well, it's been real. It's a great hangout. We should all go eat lunch. And
I'm going to have a blooming onion now. Damn.
Yeah. On that note, saying goodbye, Mr. Cohen Hacking, Jared Yeager, Kellee Santiago, Matt Cohen, also JJ Signal in the background, Mr. Tim Graupmann, myself, and Matt working diligently as always.
On the computer.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Pecan pie.